are you good if you have any questions you want to field?
Absolutely. Any questions anybody have, I'm here for you. Anybody, anything? I did have one when I was walking in, and I'll make this one real quick. It's the factors in what gets you recruited. Somebody said, hey, could you go over that? Because I gave a speech here 21 years ago. We got Pat Magnus out of that deal, one of our best hitters ever at Wichita State. He came to that deal 20 years ago out of Johnson County 32, little building right down the street. And I gave a recruiting spiel that night. That was the whole hour presentation. But real briefly, here are the 7 things that I think are going to determine how you get recruited. And I'm not going to break each one down, but real quickly. 1 are your grades. Take care of your grades. Every coach is going to look at that. Second thing, test scores. ACT, SAT. People are going to, coaches are going to want to know, and the standards are getting tougher, you know, as we move from 20, 30 years ago. Next thing, obviously, is ability. We got to know where we're going to stack up. And that's a tough one to figure out. That's a subjective one. Obviously, you can look at radar guns and velocity and then times and all that. But ability is going to be a factor. You got to see where you stack up. Personality. Do you have that positive energy? I used to go to ballparks an hour before the game and just watch to see who could get there first. Who was there ready to go and who was like you had to kick in the butt to get them out of the car. So your personality is going to be a factor. Your location. If you're from Kansas City and you're a pretty good player and your dreams to go to UCLA and you're all upset because they're not calling you, they don't know about you. Reach out to them. And here's the other thing I tell everybody. You've got to go to camps and places that you want to know about to guarantee that they will know about you. Okay? If you have a dream school. Draft status. Draft status. At Wichita State, we would go after the prime-time draft guy. If he lived in Wichita, we got Mike Coker that way. We were stunned and kept him. But we went after him. Riley Pint, we talked to like everybody else in the world did, but it's fool's gold. Riley Pint was going to sign pro. He should be a long-time all-star. Talking to Jeff Chalk about him today. Grew up with the Johnson County 3 and 2 programs, class kid, but probably going to sign. That's going to be a factor. And then the last one is what are the school's needs and their scholarship help they have available. Okay? If they don't have any scholarship help available or very little, they may not reach out to you that year, or maybe you're a catcher, but they have a freshman catcher, so the fit's not right. So the yearly needs / scholarship help will be another factor. Hope that answered. Somebody asked me if I get that coming in. Anybody else?
Coach, I got a question. How would you work with John Lester as pickoff to that mental blocking stuff?
I told somebody yesterday, and my good friend David Chad signed John Lester. David Chad signed him with Boston. I don't know. Andy Dirks, help me out here. Why are you not going first move every single time running? Where are you, Andy? You still here? Why do you not go first move and run every time?
Scared.
Scared?
Yeah, a lot of times guys don't want to do it because they're afraid that it's going to look bad if they get picked off and thrown in a second.
Makes sense, even at the big league level. It happens, I guess. But if I've done a scouting report on John Lester and he hadn't thrown the ball over there in 3 years, probably going to go first move and run. I don't know. I'm not the smartest guy, but I'm not the stupidest either. I don't know, but you see that sometimes. Guys have a mental block. This guy didn't like those first base. But he was quick to the plate, and he didn't let a lot of guys on first base, you know. But you had a deal that didn't like it for a while. It just happens, and you just got to work through those things. But with Lester, the only thing you can do if he doesn't like him, you've got to treat him like a right-hander, so you better be 1-3 or better to the plate. You better be quick to the plate. You better bury it up. You got to do all the stuff that's going to kill the running game, because he obviously wasn't going to throw over there. So, great question, though.
Coach, you have a question later?
Anybody else?
Yeah, Mike here.
Yes.
So, what's your advice as a youth baseball coach when your team defensively, your shortstop's made about 3 errors, you let a pop-up drop in the field, they're circling bases, you call time to go top to them. I don't know whether to chew them or to make a joke, lighten the mood. What's your thoughts on how to get the kids calm down on a wheel falling off it?
Yes, and that's a good question, and the answer is, as coaches, we probably have tried all of it. We've tried the positive, negative, positive. You know, out of frustration, we've probably gone negative, negative, negative. We've done all the stuff. But to me, when guys are doing their best, they're not thinking about it. They have worked it so many times to get something the way it needs to be, that the pressure of the game, and it fits into that concentration eliminates tension. Here's something that I encourage people to do. During batting practice, set your defense. Now, I understand at a youth level, you're not going to have as many people, but as opposed to just getting ground ball after ground ball, when you're taking batting practice, set your defense where they're getting a lot of live reps. They're getting realistic stuff, because then, and make it important. You know, I think a lot of times during BP, I know pitchers, it's just get through it. Certainly me as a pitcher coach. But with your center fielder, whatever the case may be, I guarantee you a guy like Andy Dirks is out there getting reads, saying, okay, what's the wind doing tonight? What do I got to do? I got to get a jump on this ball. So it's your shortstop getting reps, and you have got to get him to relax. And I guarantee you, it's not dialing up the pressure. It's not frustrating him. It's not embarrassing him. So I would lean more towards the work at it, understand it's important, and then try to lighten the mood. That's just me personally. Anybody else?
Coach, right here.
Yes.
So as a pitching coach, question as a high school coach, Kansas, there was a big instance this year where a coach let a kid go 10 innings to go chance to play the state championship. We're having pitch count limits this year in high school. Kind of just your general thoughts on pitch count limits, how to protect the kid from himself, and as a coach, how to kind of relate that to the kids in general.
Mike Pelfrey's still mad at me. 2004, we're playing at Arkansas. He beat Missouri game 1. Game 2, Chris Johnson, another Kansas City kid, first round draft. I guess he had an amazing year overseas. Freshman that year went on to be a first rounder, beat Arkansas. Third game, we start Jeremy Foster, Arkansas beats us. Okay? So now we got to come back and beat Arkansas again. But let me back up. We're ahead of Arkansas late in that game and have a chance to put it away. We're up. It's a higher scoring game. We're up like 12-8, 12-9. The wheels started coming off. Pelfrey was begging me on 2 days of rest. This year he was over 4. He was a first round draft the next year, so he was a sophomore. He was begging me to let him go in and pitch the 9th inning. Wouldn't have any part of it. I said, I'm not going to do that. If somebody else can't get it done, it's too bad, and we all want to win, but I'd feel a lot worse if I rolled you out there and you tweak something and you have a long career in this game. And he likes it, he respects it, but he was really mad at me for a long time that I would not sign off on him going out to pitch that 9th inning. So I hope that answers your question. And I know there's a lot of people that, well, whatever, we got to do whatever we got to do to win. I err more, and I know all these guys will back me because they've seen it. I err more on taking care of guys because most guys, you know, these guys for sure have got a chance to keep playing, and that was my personal philosophy, and not everybody agrees with that, but that was me. Anybody else? Yes?
What are your general thoughts on long toss?
Love it. I'm a big fan. You know, now there's so many ways that people talk about velocity. If you ask any kid, I do this for my own amusement at our camps. And by the way, if you haven't picked up one of those sheets, I'll be doing some one-day camps between Christmas and New Year where we actually walk. This is obviously more of a mental side, and we'll hit a little bit of that. But we'll break down mechanics of your delivery, building in picks, grips on fastball, change up the whole thing. And I did a 1 to 4 thinking of Kansas City. You drive up in the morning, you can go 1 to 4, get you something nice to eat, you'll be home at 8 o'clock. thinking of you guys. So when I'm looking at the deal, Kansas City guys, I'm gonna be irritated. Okay? Sorry, I got sidetracked. I went on my peers. Another commercial break. What was the question again? Long toss, love it. Because there's all kinds of little gimmick stuff. The gimmick's probably not the fair term. Ways to improve velocity. There's a lot of really smart guys out there, a lot smarter than I am. To me, the best way to improve your arm, catch the proper way, make it important, have proper mechanics when you're playing catch, extend it into long catch. The length, I get asked that all the time, depends on each guy. You don't extend it out and get bad mechanics where you're dropping, pushing, ugly mechanics. You're keeping your mechanics good, you're throwing on a line, and you take it out as far as your arm tells you, and then on the way back in, that's what they call the pull-down phase. Alan Yeager, I like Alan, he's a friend. That's when you do the pull-down phase, you put the arm up, and as they come close to you, that's when we'll build arm strength. The other question I get is how many days? Most people will say 3. I usually say you got to give me at least 2, but probably 3 is the norm, but I'm big on long catch. Yes. Anything else?
Yeah, a lot of people talk about, especially with kids, don't teach kids to throw curveballs because it's hard on their arm. So what, if you've got a kid, what's the timing as far as his age? When you start teaching that stuff, how do you protect them?
Great question. I usually, when asked, I get asked that a lot. I go on my little rant about work off the fastball because that's the pitch that's going to improve velocity. It's going to improve your arm strength. Is throwing your fastball, especially the 4-seam fastball. That's the one you've got to work off of, build arm strength. The next pitch, before we get into your question, learn a changeup. That's a pitch you can throw at 7 years old because you're just changing your grip or jamming it a little bit, but you're keeping the same arm motion, the same arm slot, same arm speed. So the second pitch that should be taught is a changeup. Now to answer your question, I usually say once you start getting into high school. My deal is just don't fall in love with it. When I was in high school, I probably, this poor guns, poor electricity, I probably was 84, 86, weighed 160, and everybody's like, boy, that's you put on some weight, you get no bullets. I did put on weights, but I never do bullets, okay? And when I got into college, I fell in love with a slider. Good pitch, but it cost me velocity. So work off your fastball. That's what's going to improve your velocity. Learn to change up. And the breaking ball, the key there is throw it the proper way. Fastball arm speed right out in front. Not cheating, tucking, pushing, all the stuff that you do when you're too young to throw it. And then, like I say, don't go in love with it because it can give you success at 13, 14, but it's probably not giving you the development that you may have if you don't throw too many. Okay. Anybody else? Yes.
Sticking with kids, a lot of the 12, 13, 14-year-olds are throwing year-round now. What's your opinion on shutting a kid down for a couple of months in the wintertime, just to so they don't have Tommy Gun when they're 18?
All for it. My college coach called it diversion. It's Phillips University. We had really good teams in Oklahoma back in the 70s, and we're all guilty as coaches now. We lay out our fall schedule and we just say, okay, we're going to start on August 28th and we're going to finish on November 2nd, and here's who we're playing, and here's what practice time is. And I'm kind of wired like that because I'm pretty anal. I like that whole thing. But the thing I admired about him is he said, we're going to quit fall practice when we quit making progress. I don't know, it may be November 5th, it may be September 30th. But we're going to quit when we quit making progress. But the thing that I always liked, and we were a little different in Wichita State, we had no problem with guys playing football. We had no problem with guys playing basketball. We felt like diversification helped you because you were learning other skills and able to compete in a different arena. But to answer your question, for the guys that didn't do that, absolutely. With these guys, we'd shut it down the end of October, early November, and I said, give it a break. When you're home over Christmas, start playing catch, because when you come back, I don't care that you're full speed, but I want your arm in shape. But 6, 7, 8 weeks, that's kind of a pro ball style. Those guys do that. And at our place, everybody wanted to play pro ball, so I would pick the brain of all the pro guys, and that's what the majority of them still do, but I think you need that time, not only physically, but I think you need it mentally. Anybody else? Yes?
Well, what are your thoughts of like people from like sidearm and submarine on when they're told to throw overarm? Like my preference is to throw sidearm, but I'm always told to throw overarm. What are your thoughts?
I think sidearm is fine as long as you don't get under it. Okay? Most people are gonna, and I'm guilty of this, when we go look at guys, we hang into our, I tried not to be this guy, but we always would look velocity. Guys are gonna throw harder from here or here than they are down here. That's just pretty normal. I don't want to say every single time, but more times than not. You're going to have better velocity up here, and normally you're going to have better command. You're probably going to have better deception down here. But if you can have deception here and you don't start tucking and pushing, I think it's fine. I get asked that sometimes, and I did, not very many, but I did turn some guys into what I call sidearm guys to add deception, and some guys love it. But like I say, the problem becomes is if you like start throwing blind, you're down here, you can't see where it's going, and then you start tucking and pushing, well then it can be hard on your arm. But if you keep the elbow, we always talk about keeping the elbow up, it's like 90 degrees, and if you lay your hand down and you do the things we're talking about, it's probably okay, in my opinion. And then finish. The other thing that sidearm guys don't do is they have a tendency to fly out here. They'll get here, the hitter can see it way too long, and you really not have to taking away your deception. So you need to get the good front side, stay tight. You can go with the sidearm look. Make sure you get the good deception here, but then finish. I always told pitchers forever, and I have what I call my brain, where every guy I write notes on every single one of them, and I put down notes of things they needed to work on. The number one thing that I had written down on every guy was finish. So make sure you do that. Okay? This Pat Magnus out here. Is Foster Belock out here? Any Wichita State guys out here? Because you know what happens is when you leave, of course, Bloom is going to love me. Sure, all these guys are going to love me because I was giving them props. But there's always one guy out there that you didn't know was there, and you're going to do it. All right, thanks. I didn't know you were there. So no other Wichita State guys here, because if you come listen to me speak, it's a guarantee I'm going to give you love. All right? Any other questions? Thank you so much. I really enjoy this, and thank you, Jeff.